Breaking tonight at 11, a big police presence in a Jacksonville neighborhood. You can see the location right here on this map. This is the Sharon Terrace area in the Inglewood neighborhood, very close to Beach Boulevard and Emerson Street. Now, we know that this police activity is in a residential area. We do have a crew there on the scene working to confirm what police are investigating. Also developing tonight, just days after being named Teacher of the Year, Darnell Cookman, a Duval County teacher, is in jail tonight, charged with child abuse. Caroline Lee was arrested at Darnell Cookman School of the Medical Arts today, where she taught English. And according to the arrest report, Lee confronted a student about an alleged threat. The report says when the student denied the threat, Lee hit her in the face, struck her in the head, and kicked her. Based on the timeline captured on video footage and the visible injury to the child, the police report says Lee was arrested. The principal says Lee's been removed from the classroom and will not return pending judicial and internal procedures. Tonight, she's in jail without bond. She's due in court in the morning. And Superintendent Dr. Diana Green weighing in tonight, saying that she has no tolerance for adults who harm children, especially adults in a position of trust. Masks are now optional for students and staff in Duval County schools. They'll no longer be required starting this Monday. The superintendent announcing that change tonight, citing improved COVID-19 numbers. Dr. Green says she's encouraged about the community transmission status right now. She goes on to say she's hopeful that we can come together around the common goal of providing exceptional learning experiences for children. And on your sides, Robert Bradfield's taking a closer look at this decision, which is not supported by at least one Duval County doctor.
When classes resume in Duval County Monday, students no longer need to pack a mask in their backpacks. School Superintendent Dr. Diana Green says COVID-19 infections have fallen to a rate where the district says they are no longer needed. But infectious disease specialist Dr. Mohammed Reza advises they should still be worn.
The most vulnerable in our population, children, that will have long-lasting effects from this virus. Protecting them is the first thing we need to do.
The change in policy is not exciting everyone, including some parents who are suing the district over the mask mandate. Father Gary Desjardins says the damage is already done, including to his 16-year-old son who has a learning impairment.
There needs to be some line drawn in the sand as to where the board can or cannot invoke policies and make them up without really the credentials to do so.
This week's numbers from the Florida Department of Health show Duval County has a 2.9% positivity rate, with cases per 100,000 now at 41.2. Both are below the thresholds the district set earlier this year. Dr. Green tells First Coast News the pandemic has been an extraordinary challenge, and there have clearly been no easy answers or universally accepted solutions. Desjardins isn't upbeat, explaining the district can reverse its decision if COVID cases increase.
My temperament of enthusiasm is really balanced by, the track record of the board, and it's just not been trustworthy.
Robert Bradfield, First Coast News, on your side.
Now, parents still need to fill out an opt-out form if they've not already done so. We have information posted in this story on firstcoastnews.com. And we also learned that the Florida Department of Education withheld about $26,000 from the Duval County School Board. That is the monthly salary of all 7 board members combined, and it's over the district's mask mandate, which remained in effect until today. At a hearing earlier this month, the Department of Education voted to withhold the salaries of board members until the district revised its policy to allow for parental opt-out. Well, COVID vaccines could go into younger children's arms by next week. Today, the FDA giving the green light to Pfizer's lower dose vaccine. The shot has one more hurdle with the CDC. The agency is expected to meet next week to discuss the vaccine. Right now, Pfizer is shipping out millions of doses of the pediatric shot across the country in preparation of that meeting. The lower dose vaccine is 1/3 of the amount given to adults and kids 12 and older.
We've had more than 500 pediatric deaths due to this or associated with this virus in our country at this point. This is not only infecting adults, it infects children too. And we're seeing more of that infection in that unvaccinated population.
Now, as we get closer to shots for younger kids, or maybe you're in need of a booster shot, we've made it easy for you to find a vaccine site close to you. Just text the word vaccine to that number, 904-633-2402. We'll send you a link to your phone with all the information. Now to the murder trial of the 3 men charged in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. 9 more potential jurors are needed before we move into the next phase of the trial. Another 8 people were selected today as potential jurors, bringing the total now to 55. The court wants 64 potential jurors selected in all. They expect that to happen by Tuesday or Wednesday. And we spoke with our legal analyst tonight about the close connections many of these jurors have to this case. They either know someone involved or they've done research about it, and we're seeing that these jurors are still being qualified.
Can you still be fair and impartial, listen to the evidence, listen to the jury instructions, and make a fair and impartial decision? Then they're going to move forward and they're going to be qualified.
Our coverage of the trial continues online. You can read why our First Coast News analyst does not think it's possible to create a fair jury from the people in Glynn County. And we'll continue to stream this entire trial gavel to gavel.
1 in 4 adults in our country has a mental disorder. Among our veterans, the mental health crisis is critical. According to the VA, 20 suicides a day. And maybe you're a veteran and your life right now, quite frankly, is just totally messed up. Maybe drugs or no job or a family falling apart or nightmares that you just can't shake. Our message is this: it is not weak to ask for help. We're focusing on mental health because our community is still reeling from the murder of beloved Deputy Joshua Moyers in Nassau County. Patrick McDowell, a veteran with PTSD, now charged with first-degree murder. But as we've been saying, of course, PTSD is no excuse for committing a crime, but there are a lot of resources for veterans, including a locally developed app called the Firewatch. It will help put you in contact with local resources to get you help with coping with stress or emergency help if you experience thoughts of suicide. And remember, if you are in a crisis, there is always help available. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline 24/7 at this number here, 800-273-8255. And you can talk live with a trained crisis counselor.
This is First Coast News on your side.
Well, America's top young scientist lives right here in Jacksonville. Sarah Park, a 9th grader at the Bowles School, winning the huge honor this month. And I had a chance to talk to her about what it means.
I couldn't believe it when they called my name as the grand prize winner and America's top young scientist. But I'm so thrilled and excited for this opportunity and also for what's yet to come.
14-year-old Sarah Park is the winner of the 3M Young Scientist Challenge. She created Spark Care Plus. It's a device designed to harness the healing power of music.
Spark Care Plus is basically a device that can generate these new personalized musical pieces using the sensors and then machine learning in order to make the participant have a better emotional well-being and mental health. Music can also release the hormones of dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, which common medications for mental health also release.
A violinist, she became curious about the effect music had on those around her.
My grandmother suffered from mental health illnesses. However, when she listened to my music, it really released the positive emotions from her. And that's when I started to realize the healing power of music.
As the grand prize winner, she walked away with $25,000. She plans to use the money to launch an app and the wristband version of her device.
This device can help pretty much everybody around the world because music can really help our mental health and emotional well-being.
Well, in a little over 15 hours, Florida and Georgia will kick off in the big annual matchup. And you're taking a live look right now at the beautiful TIAA Bank Field where that game is going to be played. And festivities definitely already underway from RV City to the Bold City Bash. You see a lot of fans out and about having a lot of fun tonight before tomorrow's big game. And there's a lot you should know before heading downtown for the game. On your sides, Katie Jeffries has you covered with this traffic post in the First Coast News app. Well, before we go to Sideline 2021, you got to see this incredible video. A deputy caught flipping across the gym at a Palatka pep rally. Youth Resource Deputy Kurt Sellers, watch what he can do, pumping up the crowd at Palatka High today before tonight's football game. Deputy Sellers, I am impressed, and so are all those students. Way to go. Well, we are still waiting on tonight's Mega Millions numbers. They were not broadcast due to some technical difficulties. But Sideline 2021 with sports director Chris Porter starts right after this.